What is going on, everyone? It is James, aka the Comic Raider, having to get used to my new camera being not new camera, but my camera being up there on the shelf. But anyways, haven't done a movie review in a minute. Just got back from watching Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. So figured I'd drop in, do a quick little review on it. I will go ahead and say that tomorrow I'll be dropping another movie review because I'm gonna go see Ant-Man Quantumania. So 2 reviews dropping soon. But Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Not bad. Not bad. So I'm gonna do non-spoiler first and then spoiler. So non-spoiler is not bad. It's I only saw one trailer and I didn't do any research on it. That way I kind of went in blind, which I think is the way to go. Basically, we all know Winnie the Pooh and Christopher Robin, and this is going to revolve around how Winnie the Pooh becomes a murderer and why. And then from there, it is pretty much a horror movie, slasher movie. And it's not bad. It really isn't bad. It's not the best movie I've ever seen, but I have definitely seen a lot worse. I'm looking at you, Halloween Ends. But yeah, so I enjoyed it. That's my non-spoiler review. I know, from what I understand, it's a limited release, I'm going to say, because it's not, at least in my area, it doesn't really seem like every theater is going to carry it. But yeah, if you are able to check it out, I would say it's worth it. Maybe more so like matinee. That would be probably the best way, spending. But like I said, I enjoyed it, so I don't mind that I paid full price for it. But yeah, so it was good. It was a good, decent slasher movie. Has some comedy elements to it, not in the story, but like some of the cheesiness is kind of funny at times. But yeah, so definitely check it out. So that's gonna be the non-spoiler review. Now, for the spoiler review, I wrote down a list of some things that I liked, some things that I didn't. So we will get into it. The movie starts. First of all, my showing had no previews. I say that because previews are typically 15 to 20 minutes, so that's kind of a big deal. Because if you're like me, you're usually running late. Mine had no previews, and so I don't know if that's normal or not, but I'm just going to give that disclaimer that there was no previews on my showing, so be careful of that. The introduction I really liked because they do like a drawn storyboard kind of with little like drawn out cartoons explaining the Winnie the Pooh that we saw as a kid and like what happened. And Christopher Robin ends up growing up. He has to go on with his life, so he ends up leaving. And there's like what they say? I think they said there was a rough winter, and so there's no real food. So the animals are starving, and they end up eating Eeyore first. Poor Eeyore. So they end up eating Eeyore first, and then that kind of gives them this taste for blood and cannibalism, let's say, and just kind of starts them. They turn feral, and that kind of starts them becoming what they are. They also, at this point now, have grown to hate humanity and civilization, and in particular Christopher Robin. And so that's all done, like I said, through like drawn storyboard cartoon looking thing, and which was really cool. It was a cool way to give you a good little intro as to how we got to this point. So then it starts off, and some of the drawings I thought were really creepy, but really really good. Like when they draw like Winnie the Pooh and Piglet, because they're the 2 that are in the movie, which I also didn't know if we were talking about actual Pooh and Piglet or if these were people wearing costumes. It's actually a man bear pig. They reversed it in like the movie and called it a bear man, but a man bear pig and a man pig. But yeah, so it is not a person wearing a Pooh and a Piglet costume. It is legit them. So, anyways, now the movie starts and I'm kind of undecided if I like the whole story or I don't. I guess I do because I did enjoy the movie, but it starts off with Christopher Robin. He's now married and he takes his wife to go visit the 100-acre forest and to meet them. And he thinks this is going to be a great like experience. And he ends up finding where they stayed at, and now there's like RVs and bones, and there's a handmade like rest in peace Eeyore. And so he just starts getting bad vibes. So does the wife. They end up going inside a house. They end up having to hide. They hide from Pooh. Pooh falls asleep. They come out, and then Piglet attacks. And this is now your first hint of violence. And so Piglet attacks them. Again, this is a spoiler review, so kills the wife. Then they kind of both trap Christopher Robin, and then it just skips ahead. And then the title screen now starts. So I bring that up because I wasn't really sure how I felt about. I thought that the movie was going to be them going after Christopher Robin, or I thought like Christopher Robin was going to visit, and then the movie is about maybe him and maybe other people, and then that's who they're going after. But it ends up that it's more so the Christopher Robin thing is the intro to the movie. Then it jumps to this girl that, I mean, we don't know. And then her and her friends rent out. She's got some trauma, so the therapist tells her to take a weekend. Take a weekend and enjoy yourself. So they get this cabin. Cabin ends up being in the same 100-acre woods or forest. And I think it's woods, right? I don't remember. Anyways, take a cabin there, and then now they're basically there, and that's how they meet Pooh and Piglet, is because now they're staying in a cabin in their area. So I wasn't really sure how I felt about that, because it took away except for the beginning and the end, the whole Christopher Robin thing. But at the same time, I do like it because it was different, because it wasn't what I expected. And so I have to give them props for doing something that I didn't expect them to do. And so I thought I do think that is kind of cool. But anyway, so then it's basically your typical, there's like 5 girls in a cabin, and then one by one they all start dying. But I have to say that the kills are pretty damn good. Even the first one with the wife is like a brutal strangle with some chains, and then that leads to one of the friends. The group of girls arrive together. There's like 5 of them. There's one girl who arrives separate. She gets lost. She's like just standing in the woods lost, and then she sees Pooh, and then he looks at her, and then he just takes off and starts running at her. And then it does like this whole shaky cam thing, and of him chasing her, and it was pretty cool. It was cool because now you saw like, okay, they're runners. They're not the slow stalker. They're runners, and they're pretty brutal because that he like bashes her face, and then he puts her through like a wood chipper type thing, and yeah, it was pretty good. Not gonna lie, good scene. And then some of the other kills were they run over a chick's head, which was another thing I'm gonna give them props for. Is I felt like the tension that builds in the movie as a whole and in certain scenes was actually really good. Like they build up tension very well in this movie, I thought. So they build up this tension that they're gonna run this chick over, and then they do, but they don't do it like just boom, run her over. Like it is, she's bound, and then they slowly run over her head. The movie is very gory, very brutal. They slowly run over her head, and it like compresses and explodes, and it was like, god damn. So that was cool. There's another one where I liked again, I know I'm telling you all of these, but again, that's because this is a spoiler review. So, another one with the machete through. I thought that one was cool. Um, there was another one I thought I really liked. The sledgehammer. Piglet with the sledgehammer was pretty dope. And then there's like a really cool Halloween Kills esque moment with these mechanics and them like surrounding Pooh and then trying to beat him with a baseball bat and a crowbar and a bottle, and I forgot what the other guy had. And then he just takes the beating, and then Pooh has the craziest, strongest pimp slap, bitch slap I've ever seen in a movie before. And he just like puts his hand up, bam, and then just slaps the shit out of one of the guys. The dude's face like is half off, and yeah, it was awesome. That pimp slap Pooh action. Wow, pimp slap Pooh. That's the hashtag. Man, it was good. I love that. Some of the things I didn't like about the movie, the pacing. I'm gonna put them together. Like pacing and cuts. You would have like a scene, and then it would end with the kill, and then it would just like turn black screen for like 2 seconds. It feels like, and then the movie picks up in a whole new scene. And it did that a couple of times. I don't really like seeing that in a movie, at least not that exaggerated of like a pause. It just felt really weird. I didn't like that. I do have to complain about the pacing and the cuts, but other than that, I mean, it was cool. It has like, I'm trying to think of like the funny moments, but it's really just like there was a guy next to me who was just laughing his ass off at most of the movie, because some of like the kill scenes were like funny in how they were done, or just like or I guess better said, like the reaction by Pooh or Piglet to something was funny at times, and because don't like the mask is funny as hell looking. It's creepy and funny all at the same time, right? So certain reactions or certain looks that Pooh gives wearing this mask is funny. And but yeah, I thought that was really cool. Um, the dumb character decisions, like there's a part where the main girl gets a gun, and she totally has an opportunity when she first gets the gun and is at the top of the stairs, and Pooh's walking underneath, and he's just by himself, where she could have taken a shot. She doesn't, of course. And then towards the end, she's driving a car down what feels like the longest road I've ever seen. You know, people want to complain about Fast and the Furious and how long that runway was on the what was that, Fast 6 or 7? 6? 7. No, it was 6. How fast the runway is. Like, this was the longest road ever because Pooh is climbing on this truck for the longest time, it feels like. And then she finally slams on the brakes. I've never seen a movie where someone slams on the brakes. Okay, the character slams on the brakes. The person that's in the back goes flying over. How the fuck does the person in the car that hits the brakes become injured? Because her and the other girl are fucked up. They got concussions. They're bleeding from their face. Like, you didn't hit anything. You slammed on the fucking brakes. Like, I've never been in an accident. Knock on wood. I've also never had to slam my brakes to a complete and utter, like, just stop. But I don't think that would happen. And I've never seen a movie do that. Like, you got injured hitting the fucking brakes. But I digress. But yeah, it was pretty good. Like I said, the whole, like, main character and the girls, the whole, like, main character being this girl, Maria, kind of weird, but because it does really feel like, okay, well, who are these girls and why do I need to care about these girls? Because I thought this was about Christopher Robin. So like that whole part is kind of but it's a way for them to get more kills, more people on screen to be killed. It's not that bad. It's not, gonna win no Oscar or nothing anyway. So I think I mean, that's pretty much the basics of what I got. I will say they also got me because I definitely thought that in the beginning she walks into this garage and there's like a creepy mechanic, and then she bumps into another lady and another guy when she's walking out. I legitimately thought that the woman that she bumps into was gonna be like the mom of the two mechanics or whoever they were, and that those were Pooh and Piglet. Like I really, until I don't even know how, maybe the whole damn movie, I was still waiting to find out that it was people in a mask. And then I finally realized, like, way late in the movie, like, no, okay, this is really Pooh and Piglet. Like, legit. Um, so I still thought that it was going to be those mechanic guys were going to end up being Pooh and Piglet dressed. But it wasn't. So I, again, give them props because that's how I thought the movie was going. And then even later they find like this woman, and I thought that that woman was the lady that she bumped into in the garage. So they definitely pulled a 180 on me because I was trying to like, well, I've seen this before and I already know how this movie's gonna go, and I did it. So I give them props for that, for sure. I give them props. Um, the other thing was at the end you have this really cool, you have a cool scene with the main character, and then you get a line. You get a line in the movie that I'm not going to spoil. You need to go find this out for yourself. But you get a line in the movie uttered by a character in the movie, and just the timing of it, everything. It was cool. And this is at the end of the movie. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. I just thought that that was really cool to do that in the way that it was done. But, yeah, no end credit scenes. But there is, at the very, very end, it says like filmed in wherever they filmed, and then it says Winnie the Pooh will return. So, yeah, I guess we're gonna get a sequel, which is cool. So that's another reason why I wanted to put out the review, is because for anybody who does watch this, I liked it. Go watch it. Go support it. That way we can get that sequel. Because I would not mind watching a sequel of this movie. Like, it was not bad. It was not bad. I will watch it again, which is more than I can say for Halloween Ends. So, I mean, that tells you right there. I thought it was cool. But yeah, so check it out. Check out Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. It is cool. If you can find it, I guess. And yeah, I'm going to pretty much try and wrap it up there. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all the love and support. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. And yeah, tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and upload this now, so we're going to get like a little midnight release. And then tomorrow I'm going to watch Ant-Man Quantumania, and I'm going to come home and I'm going to do a review for that. So I'm going to try basically do like 2 little back-to-back midnight release videos. So stay tuned for that one as well. And that's it. Comic Raider signing out. Stay safe, everyone. I appreciate you. Later.